Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Intro to Tuition Assistance webinar for Child Care Seer. Let me go ahead and share my screen here and get our presentation going. So this is Intro to Tuition Assistance. I'm Amy Callahan. I've been with the Seer company for a little over 2 years now, and worked in education for quite a while before that. So I'll be sharing with you today tuition assistance, our new feature just recently released about a month ago, to get you started so that you can use it in your center. So what's the plan for today? We'll do a little bit of slides, just a couple, for Tuition Assistance 101. And then we're going to jump into the product and actually do a demo. I'll show you how to set up a new assistance, which we can do in 3 easy steps. And then I'll show you where all that information lives once you've set it up so that you can check your reports and verify when payments come in, where those reports are. And then a few tips, tricks, and fixes, because we all make mistakes and we all will need to do things with as few clicks as possible. And then finally, we'll finish up with question and answer period as time allows. Of course, any questions you have after today's webinar, you can either use your help button or email us at Seer Support. So what is tuition assistance? Well, tuition assistance lets you track any assistance coming from a provider. And I say provider because most of us know about state subsidy agencies that provide assistance to students, but we can also get assistance from an employer or the military or religious organizations or many other places, often help with tuition in daycare situations. So Child Care Seer has broadened what most of us call subsidy into tuition assistance to cover all of these possible sources of assistance for children. Where is it? Where do I find tuition assistance? You may have noticed after our recent release, you've got a new menu icon on the left. The little hand with the heart is our assistance icon. That's going to both be on your menu to lead you to tuition assistance, and you'll also see that later when you've applied assistance to a child. You'll see the little hand to indicate that you've done that. So as said at the beginning, set up a child in 3 easy steps. So first we're going to add the provider, then we're going to add a commitment, and then we're going to apply the assistance. So let's do this. Let me switch over to the product here. And this is my demo daycare. So you'll notice we've only got a couple of kids checked in today in our demo, just to give you the feel. But this is exactly what you see. This is live product, so exactly what you're using in your center. I'm gonna slip over here to the new tuition assistance menu, and you may or may not know, if you click that little push button at the top, it will keep the words for you on your menu. So I've done that so that you can easily see what I'm doing today. So I'm going to click tuition assistance, and that's going to bring me into the tuition assistance section. As mentioned, our 3 easy steps. First, we're going to add a provider. So just like on many of our screens, I'm going to go over here and click the blue add button, and I will put in a new provider. It's going to make me put an address. I'm going to make one up for now. And then it's going to let me add a contact. You can add as many contacts as you like, and I'll show you in just a minute. So let's just add a new contact. Oops, I'm sorry. I need to put her last name in there too. And the role is also required. And then if I know an email or often a phone number, I can put that in here as well. And if I would like to leave a note. So in this instance, I'll say open 9 to 5, just to show you where the note ends up in a minute. If I've made a mistake, I can remove them, or if I have a second contact, I simply click add a contact and add as many as I would like, and then click save. So that was step number 1, add a provider. And then step number 2 is going to be add a commitment. So to do the commitment, you're going to want to have the letter that you received from the agency or from the provider, also called a POSO, because that's the information you're going to need, is that contract information when you're setting this up. So I'm going to go ahead and click add. I'm going to choose the child that is going to be receiving assistance. And because I've already set up my provider, I can select it. If I started from here and would like to add a new provider, I could also do that. I'm going to select the contact person, or I can also add a new one if I like. And then this is going to be where you want to start looking at your contract. Commitment ID, whatever the number is on the contract, this is going to help you later to be able to search for specific contracts. I can leave a note if I like. And then best thing to do, I love this feature in Seer, you can actually upload a copy of your commitment contract right into Seer, and it will be stored here for you to look at later. I'm going to skip that part for right now because I don't have a real one available. All right, again, right from the piece of paper in front of me, I'm going to choose the effective date that's on my contract. You may set an end date if there is one. If there is not, then you don't have to. I'm going to leave that alone for right now. And then we get to the commitment terms. The one I'm working with says it's $32 per day. You can choose daily, weekly, biweekly, or monthly. And then I say which services are going to be covered. It's important to note this is not automatically going to apply assistance to those services. What's going to happen is later when you apply this to a child, you will only be able to pick the items that you've checked the boxes here. So your contract should specify what portions it covers. Often it's only full week tuition programs. Some providers will cover extra charges such as registration fees, and then others may or may not cover hourly visits. For right now, I'm going to go ahead and select them all and then say add. And now we can see we've got a commitment on Christy. So that's the end of step 2. So far we've set up a provider, and then we've set up a commitment for Christy. For the third piece, we need to actually apply this assistance to one of Christy's enrollments. So let's pull up Christy. And it looks like she's enrolled right now all day for 5 days. To add an assistance to her enrollment, I'm going to click the little 3-dot action menu and then click review. And then if you scroll clear to the bottom, we have a new section in Seer, tuition assistance. I'm going to manage applications. And then I'm going to add an application. It's going to automatically bring in any commitments that are assigned to Christy. If there was more than one, I would be able to choose which one I want to apply here. In this case, we just have this one. It's going to show me that it's a daily commitment for $32 a day. And then it's also going to show me the weekly price of Christy's program. What I need to figure out is the assistance amount for the weekly amount. You may actually need your calculator for just a minute on this one, because I would need to multiply the $32 times 5 to get the weekly amount. So let's see, that's going to be 156. Oh no, I'm sorry, 160. I didn't bring my calculator. So as soon as I put that number in there, you can see Seer has already calculated the weekly family copay for me. If for some reason you want the copay to be less than this amount, or if your center is accepting only the assistance amount for your weekly programs and not charging copays, you would want to select this option to add center provided assistance. And what that's going to do is it's going to track how much your center is providing toward this child's tuition. So in this case, so that you can see, I'm going to put $30 in there. And you can see it's reduced the copay to $30, but the assistance amount coming from the agency is the same. And then I need to select the start date. So we're actually just going to start it this week. Let's see, it is. And I can specify an end date if I would like. It is important to note that while the contract itself specifies a start date and an end date, this start date and end date is related but not connected. This is when you wish Child Care Seer to actually apply assistance to these services. These dates are generally and should be within the dates of the larger commitment. They may actually be the same as the dates as the larger commitment, but they are not directly connected. And then there's a little note here. Just keep in mind that changes you make here only impact services starting with this week or the current billing cycle and moving forward. Anything that's already passed and has already been paid for, you will need to go back and adjust manually. I'm going to go ahead and click add. And now I can see that she has an application for Virginia DSS. I'm going to save those changes. And then I'm back to looking at my enrollment. If I scroll down, I can see that she has a tuition assistance. And I've got the details. The assistance is $160, the family copay $30, and the center is providing $30. I'm going to say close, and then as promised, I see my little hand with the heart indicating that yes, tuition assistance has been applied to this enrollment. So that is our 3-step setup to get a child rolling on tuition assistance. The next portion was, well, where did that go? What does that do? So let me show you where to find information after you've set it up. So we're going to go to the Money tab, and then we're going to go to Services. And then I'm going to find this week's service. And if you pop open the little detail arrow, it's actually going to show you the original amount. I've got an extra charge on there. And then it's going to show me that tuition assistance the center provided. I happened to pick a child that already had auto pay, so this one was already paid, which kind of messed us up. And then because I've done that, I've actually created a wallet credit, so this one's kind of a mess. Let's look at next week's. I think it will be cleaner. So next week I've got the program base price for $220. There's my extra charge for, it was the COVID cleaning fee we had on. We can probably take that off at this point. I see the tuition assistance coming in from Virginia DSS for $160. And then I also see the center provided, which then leaves me with this $52, which is going to be the $30 copay plus that extra fee that's in there. Another place to see tuition assistance information is here under the assistance commitments area. That's going to show me the details of this, the commitment that belongs to Christy. This goes back to the original contract or the original POSO. So if I pop the little detail, it will actually list which services this tuition assistance has been applied to. So a tip and trick I'll show you while we're right here. We did everything so far through the tuition assistance menu. You can also add an assistance to a child as soon as you get your letter from your agency. If you go into the child to the assistance area and click add, it will actually let you add all of that information right here on the child. It will let you either select an existing provider or add a new one, select an existing contact or add a new one, and then add the contract right here directly in the child. Either way works. Whichever way works better for you is definitely what you should use in your center. All right, so let's pop back to tuition assistance area here and see what we've done. So this was our commitment to Christy. If I open that little arrow, which now appeared, I can see which services that has been applied to. In addition, if I go to the providers tab, I still see my provider listed here. This provider now has a child attached to them. If I click on the provider itself, it's going to bring me into their little kind of a mini profile page. It shows me all of the contacts for that provider. It shows me all of the commitments attached to that provider right here. And in addition, if I click on committed assistances at the top, it's going to show me exactly what that provider has agreed to over whatever period I specify at the top. I would suggest that when you actually receive your statement from the agency or provider, this is a great place to verify that what they've sent it matches what you expected them to send. In addition, right here, it's going to keep track of the child's attendance for the week. So if you are adding adjustments for attendance on your tuition assistance, this is a great place to see what the child's attendance was for the week. All right, some tips and tricks. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed the reporting section. Let's do reports first. So let's pop into reports so that I can show you where these things end up on your reports. As a reminder, you can make any report a favorite by clicking the little star, and then it will be in your reports, your favorite reports area, so you don't have to look through them all the time to find what you need. But for right now, we're going to find the reports that have to do with tuition assistance. The first one is in the payments and charges section. We're going to look at the charges report. And if I scroll the whole way down, let me see, I've got to adjust my dates, I think. It's going to show me, this is where your center provided assistance is going to show as credits and discounts. And this is the money that the daycare chose not to charge the parent. When we set up a minute ago, and the example was if you're accepting the agency provided rate rather than charging the difference for your full tuition, that's actually a credit you're extending to the customer. So we want to show that in your reports for you, just so that you can keep track of that. And then I'm going to look at the payment section. Again, I will set my date ahead a little bit. And if I scroll down, I see, and this is kind of a summary of everything that's going on in your center for that period. So it's going to show you the total transactions paid by tuition assistance and the total amount by tuition assistance for the given period. And then one of my favorite places to see the most information for tuition assistance is actually going to be in the finance section. And then I'm going to choose the collected report. This is going to show me everything that was collected in my center for the period that was listed. I'm going to go ahead and extend this out like we have been. Oh, it won't let me. But the neat thing about this report is that you can choose which method was used for collection. So if I choose tuition assistance, it is going to filter and only show me all of the transactions that were tuition assistance that I should be collecting from the agency or provider. And again, I can set that for any period of time that I would like. Whether it's a month when you're doing your books at the end of the month, or whether it's just to look at last week, you can set it to whatever you like. All right, now moving on to some tips and tricks and fixes. Often I've forgotten something, I need to adjust something, I made a mistake. Most of that can be fixed on the child's page. And we're going to go to that Magic Money tab, and again to services. So this is Christy, and let's say that she was absent on Monday, and I need to go adjust her service for this week. So I'm going to find this week's service, and I'm going to pop it open so that we can see all the details. And then down here in the tuition assistance line, I'm going to add an adjustment. And it lets me say whether it's for maybe we had a holiday this week that was not covered by the provider. Maybe Christy was absent, or it could be any other reason that you need to adjust the tuition assistance amount for that service. So in this case, we said Christy was absent. So the agency doesn't pay for that absence. I'm going to remove that one daily amount of $32, and I'm going to pass that fee on to the family. You can also, depending on what you're doing, you can pass that fee to the provider, or you can pass that fee to your center. In other words, if your center is just going to cover that fee, you would move it to center, and then it's not going to charge the family the difference. But in this case, I'm going to go ahead and charge the family for that absence. I'm going to click save, and then now we can see that she's now unpaid because we've added that $32 charge, and her tuition assistance amount actually was reduced by that $32 as well. One of the easiest ways, and this is a tip right here, tips and tricks. If you have a whole bunch of children to apply an absence adjustment to all at once, you can actually go to the child list, select all of the children that you need to do that with, and then if you click the little more option here in the menu, you can do a tuition assistance adjustment. This would adjust it for all of the children. And if there is one in the mix, well, here, let's do it. If there's one in the mix that doesn't have an assistance, it will actually tell you that. It will tell you it wasn't able to apply to these children because they didn't have a tuition assistance to adjust. All right, so let's try one other thing before I open us up to question and answers. Remember when we set up the commitment, we were able to choose charges, programs, charges, or visits. So I'm going to go ahead and add a charge to Christy. We'll add a supply fee to her account. And I don't have one set up, so I'm going to have to do custom. And we'll make it due Friday. And now at the bottom of this add charge, I have this little covered by tuition assistance box. if I select that, it's going to let me go ahead and put in the assistance amount that would be applied to this charge. I'm going to skip that for now and show you what happens if you forget to do that. So we're just going to go ahead and add the charge. We forgot to make tuition assistance paying for this, so I'm going to say add. And then there's her supply fee on her current services area. I can actually go back after the fact on that charge and add the assistance, and it's going to let me. So let's say in this case, the agency is going to pay half. That's going to leave $25 for the family. I just click save. It's going to reduce that amount. If you want to see all of the details, again, it's going to be that magic money tab. We're going to go to services. We need to find the supply fee. Right there it is. Open the little arrow. We can see that the fee itself was $50. Tuition assistance is covering $25, which leaves the $25 for the family. All right, I believe that covers tuition assistance for today. Let me go ahead and open up your mics to allow for question and answer. So are there any questions about tuition assistance? All right. Well, I'm sure when you're setting up your tuition assistance in your center, you will definitely have questions. Don't be afraid to use that help button right here. We'll get right back with you. Be sure and let us know if you'd rather be contacted by email or a phone number that's good to reach you, and we will get with you and help you get it set up. Thank you so much for attending today, and I hope to talk to you soon. Thanks, guys. Bye.